I used to have 100 problems, and then I figured out my bench, and I only had 99. So how did I do that? Let's talk about it. How's it going, guys? It is Michael back with another video, and let's talk about the bench press, the king of all chest exercises. And today I can sit here and say I'm confident in this lift finally. And I wasn't for so long. I was so worried about my form, and I never could understand what certain cues meant that you hear all of the time. And the reason for that was the bench press was the first exercise that I did when I went into the gym. I was a beginner, and all I really cared about was pressing the weight and getting a big chest. But I truly did not understand how it was a complicated lift, how you need to use leverage and get into a position where you have a mechanical advantage. And that was where my problems began. I built up on a terrible foundation. So this right here is my old form. And the first mistake is when I was leaning back. I was casually leaning back like I'm getting ready to take a nap. And the problem with that was that my upper back was not tight. And I've developed a cue to fix that throughout my setup, which I will pass on to you guys in a little bit. But this was my starting position. In this position, when I look at it now, how did I get any leverage? This might be you right now if you're just starting out in the gym. Look how flat my back is up against the bench. I have pretty much no arch in my lower back. And take a look at the angle that my knees are making. It's basically a 90-degree angle, and you hear this all the time. Press through your feet. And when I look at this now, how was I supposed to press through my feet with them that far out in front of me? I just did not understand that cue until I started to fix my bench. And that is how my bench press looked for a while, and I was wondering why I could not get any stronger, and it was because of my terrible setup. So how did I fix that? This is what I did. And before I even touched the bench, I developed a cue. Up, back, and down with your shoulders. You guys can see me doing it right there, and that has allowed me to keep my upper back tight from the second I lay on the bench. And that is really important. You want to keep everything tight when you're benching. And also notice how my feet are up on the bench when I'm setting up. And the reason I do this now is because it's the easiest way for me to get my feet back, so I can really push through them. I can plant my feet into the ground, drive through them, and generate so much more force. So this is my starting position now, and take a look at the angle before and after. Before and after. Which one do you think I'm stronger in? In the second position here, my back is not really parallel to the bench like it used to be. I have more of an arch in my lower back, and even when you compare my upper back tightness from the up, back, and down cue, it makes a world of difference. Not only am I going to be stronger in this position, my shoulders are in a more stable position, and it just looks so much better when you compare the old one with the new one. It's a night and day difference, and when you're benching, you get so much more confidence when you feel good with your setup. So this is what my reps look like now. So much better than my old ones, and it's really made the bench press fun again. So a few more tips that I have kind of switched up. My grip is another thing. I move my hands out just slightly, so at the bottom of the rep, I make a 90-degree angle with my upper arm and forearm. And this is a tip that I got from Brandon Campbell that I just kind of subconsciously started doing, is to dig myself into the bench. He does a little wiggle, but when I feel like I'm digging myself into the bench, I am getting in a position where I feel like I'm really stable on the bench. And lastly, don't be afraid to ask someone to lift the bar off to you and use a spotter, because it makes a world of difference. It allows you to keep everything that you just set up tight. I found that before, my setup would be compromised when I had to lift the bar off. I would lose tightness. So that's made a world of difference. And when you combine all of those tips together, I think it will lead to a much better bench press. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a like down below. Yes, you listening to this right now, I appreciate the support so much. I hope you guys liked the video, and I will talk to you later.